Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In this video, I'm going to talk about the universe. In the past, astronomers thought that the Earth was at the center of the universe, and it was the center around which all planets revolved. But then they discovered new somethings, but telescopes. They discovered that the Earth was one of the 9 planets that orbit around the Sun. Then it was found that there were other galaxies and other suns. Each sun of them has its own planets. The universe contains about 100 billion galaxies in the huge universe. All over at the boundaries of the universe, there are stars. Each one of these stars emits as much energy as 100 billion suns do. Each star emits as much energy as 100 billion suns do. So this type of stars is a galaxy because it is glowing. It is it's high temperature. So they called pulsars. Our Earth has turned out to be a tiny planet. Again, a tiny planet in the endless universe. What is the story of the universe? Does it have a beginning and an end? Some philosophers, especially the atheists of them, imagined that the universe was too ancient and has no specific beginning. Thus, it wasn't created because it's been always there. They imagined that the universe always been an existing entity without a beginning or without any end. They claim that the universe was exceedingly ancient, so they claim that there was no need to search for a creator because the universe has been always. This was proved to be false. Later on, the application of the second law of thermodynamics, which states that the universe must have had a starting point in time and that it was created. How was this proved? It was judged by transferred heat from stars into the space. If these stars have always been there, their heat would have leaked by now. And stars have cooled down millions of years ago, and the universe would have had a temperature of 0. These people claim the universe had no specific beginning, that it was just there, not a million, 10 billion years old, but that it was endless. In this case, all stars must have cooled down, as they constantly lose heat to the space. Their energy powers in the space. According to this law and under endless, limitless, no time conditions, stars should be cooled down by now. And the temperature should have a temperature of absolute 0. And this is not true. So the universe started at same point in time as heat leakage is still going on. Therefore, the universe started at a certain time. It had a start point. What happened then? It must have been born, but it is all pure theories. A recent theory about the origin of the universe proposed it started off as a mass of concentrated matter, referred to as the first energy or light, if you would like to say. This mass of energy exploded. After explosions, pieces of energy and cosmic waves dispersed. This took millions of years to concentrate the nebula. The nebula which was put by Laplace, the French scientist. Then nebula turned gradually and concentrated, forming the universe we know now. A star is a central concentrated mass formed from the nebula. As it shrinks and gets more compact, its temperature rises till it glows. When its temperature rises above 6 million degrees, nuclear reaction takes place all suns and stars composed of hydrogen. The main gas is hydrogen, but also another gas is found inside these stars, which is helium. Hydrogen and helium. This is the first type of concentration occur. Because hydrogen is the simplest atom, when the incredibly rising temperature as the star shrinks and upon remains more 6 million degrees, the hydrogen atoms fuse. Forming helium and releasing energy. So the first step is hydrogen. The second step is helium. In the reactions of in the nuclear reactions which occur in any star in the universe. This is the principle of hydrogen bombs, and the chain reaction happens in the star. So the star changed into luminous star. That is the sun we know. What happens later? It starts consuming its own fuel. So the star takes from 5 to 10 billion years to run out its own hydrogen. Again, the star takes from 5 to 10 billion years to run out its own hydrogen. As this hydrogen consumption progresses, the temperature drops down and expansion lessens. As we have two forces for the stability of any star, These two forces work together to maintain the star's stability. Number one, the first force, the temperature, which causes expansion. Number two, the gravity, which makes the shrinking of the star. When both of these two forces are balanced or equal to each other, the star will be stable. If the gravitational force and the temperature through the reactions occur in the star are equal to each other, the two forces are equal to each other, the star will be stable. When inward pulling gravity and outward expanding heat are equal, the star is considered to be stable. But when the star starts consuming its hydrogen through the reactions, of course, the temperature of the star drops down and expansion lessens. So the gravity takes the upper hand. Causing shrinkage of the star till it collapses. Shrinking, then collapse occur. What happens when the star shrink and collapse? Its temperature rises to enormous levels because gravity is incredible force. So the result is helium itself. As we said, the first is hydrogen, second is helium. Helium itself starts dissociating and getting recomposing, causing helium explosions. So hydrogen explosions, then helium explosions, which are a higher level of atomic explosions. If this happens to a sun like our sun, as it became too old, it would expand dramatically due to burning of helium. Thereby, it would reach 400 times its current size and burns all planets. When helium starts to run out, the last shrinkage occurs. As gravity dominates and takes the upper hand, then the star shrinks for the last time and transformation into a white dwarf. And then it gradually decrease and ending up a dark star, and that is what is called the black hole. What will happen? The star is more size than the sun. Millions of suns. After getting expanded as the star grows old, the temperature rises to exceedingly higher levels, and after shrinking, it exploded, giving masses of burning gases along what it remains. And in the center remains what called a neutron star, which is pulsating star, pulsar. The pulsations of that neutron star emits thermal radiations or thermal pulses like wireless rays, X-rays, electromagnetic waves, whatever. Thus, neutron stars are called pulsating stars. They are thus called pulsars. They are indeed pulsating as seen by telescopes. They constantly pulsate. They are always pulsating because they are due to the presence of many reactions inside them, which are huge reactions, nuclear reactions or fusion reactions, to be right. The nuclear reactions taking place in its inferno give pulsating waves. So if the star was a giant, it was a huge one that was equivalent to tens of billions of suns. So what would happen to it? As its hydrogen is consumed, the star shrinks by gravity. The star shrinks by gravity, begin many reactions to be huge in size. Its gravity is enormous, so the gravity inside the star will be so high. So what will happen due to its gravity? The star totally smashed. It gets pulverized, so the star will be vanished. It just die and vanishes. So great stars also die like that because of their enormous gravity. When they shrink, they get squashed and totally pulverized. As the star gets squashed into nothing, what's left of it is referred to black hole. What's called black hole, which is incredible, powerful magnetic field. Is a black hole with enormous magnetic field, very, very, very huge magnetic field. It sucks in any object passing through it. The black hole sucks in any object passing through it. Even if they were galaxies, it also sucks in its light. So it became black without any light because it absorbed light. This is why it's said to be black. So it's called black because it sucks in the light due to its enormous gravity. We cannot see the hole, so how can it be detected? We cannot see the hole practically, but how can we detect this black hole? On gazing the space by a telescope, we see galaxies and other entities falling down as if pulled by something due to the gravity, of course, of the black hole. They are sucked in as being pulled down by some force. This is an indication of the presence of the black hole that sucks in everything passing nearby. What is these black holes? What are these? What is the black hole, or what is the black hole, or what are these black holes? Maybe they connect the skies. Some scientists make focus that the black holes or these holes connect the skies with each others, and they write about the incredible stuff about the black holes. And there was a story about the astronauts who entered one of them. This is a science fiction, of course, because that's impossible, as it would be pulverized, as the hole is a magnetic field. It's impossible for someone to imagine anything about the black hole because they have highly magnetic field. That squash and pulverizes everything it sucks. So, where does this lead us? Let's return to the story of the universe at the beginning of Big Bang. The beginning of the universe was, of course, Big Bang, the explosion which formed all galaxies, stars, planets, and everything around us. The force and the power of Big Bang are going on. The man, of course, Arino Penzias, the man who won Nobel Prize for recording the sounds of the Big Bang. So this proves that it is still around and in action. What does it mean? What does this mean? Also, this means that the universe, in case of expansion, the universe in a continuous expansion without end. Since the Big Bang and the formation of the nebula, we know since the universe was made, the Big Bang powers has been on due to the power of Big Bang, and the universe keeps on expansion on and on. Astronomy proves this phenomenon referred to as expanding universe. So the universe is expanding, and its objects are getting further from each other. This was proved by spectrum analysis, and this phenomenon is called the red shift, where spectrum colors are shifted to the red. The only expansion is that all planets we see are getting further away from each other. Take your telescope everywhere, you will find them still getting further. So what will happen? Two scenarios are proposed. Planets will get too stretched out, thinned out, that their gravitational ties will split apart, and the planets will go astray, get lost in space. The universe will be dispersed after gravity forces were broken down due to the immersive process of thinning out. There is another more likely theory. When the Bang power and energy dimensions they runs out, the second force takes over and dominates. That we have said that second force controls the world, the Big Bang and the gravity. So when the Big Bang power dimensions and runs out, gravity will take the upper hand. When this happens, the universe will be pulled together. All will pull, so the universe collapses and becomes a mess as it started. So each time a different universe and different creations may created, and Allah Almighty will mold it into other worlds. We are one of those varieties. So we are from the same matter of the stars, but in different creations. So Allah Almighty does what He wish. He may collapse the universe into an energy mass. Then should He will make explosion again, thereby creating another world with different creations which are different from human beings we know, and so on. So the world will remain like this. It keeps on shrinking and expanding. It's proposed that the universe starts, ends, and so on. I wish you to get benefit from this video. I dedicate this video to the souls of my mom and my dad, who taught me that the way to God is unconditional love. Thank you so much, and goodbye.